In this paper, we assess the sustainability of natural resource use in two different ways. The first considers the mean population growth rate over a management period of 10 years. That is, we run a 10-year management scenario 100 times to derive how much the population grows on average. Here, management scenarios reflect different combinations of decision-making bias by the manager and user compliance. Decision-making bias on the x-axis goes from -1 when the manager completely favors the interests of users to +1 when decisions favor the interests of conservation groups. User compliance, which controls illegal harvesting, goes from inexistent at 0 to complete at 1. The blue colors on the surface represent negative mean growth rates, red colors are positive mean growth rates, and green colors denote stable population trends, which is what we consider to reflect sustainable use. The second way of assessing sustainability is through estimating resource extinction probability. In this graph, the darker the gray color, the more likely the resource will go extinct during the course of the 10 management years. A first prediction we can make from these results is that when the manager is strongly influenced by user lobbying, the resource population growth rate is negative and extinction probability high, regardless of compliance levels. Manager decisions already fulfill user expectations, so there is no need to harvest illegally. A second prediction is that when compliance is high and the manager is resistant to lobbying, the natural resource is managed sustainably. This portion of the surface also shows that when compliance starts to decrease, biasing decisions towards the interests of conservation can help mitigate the effect on the resource population. However, as this next portion of the surface shows, such a conservation bias is counterproductive when compliance further decreases to very low levels. In this case, it is actually better to resist lobbying so as not to give an incentive for illegal harvesting. This reflects the case of blanket bans on natural resource use, which often perform worse than careful management. Extinction rate is actually highest when compliance is low and decision-making bias in favor of conservation interests.